I think he was used to at that stage going to forums where he would not be asked questions that he didn't want to be asked.
The point is this: it's not just COVID patients, because there is this. I'm not saying you're making this point, but there's a bit of a tone around the place. Oh well, these people are all old anyway.
No, that's not fair, Premier.
Anyway.
I don't know anyone who's. I lost my 78-year-old father, Premier, during this time, and you know what was happening to him? He was a very similar person to you, actually, Premier. He loved his golf. He was isolated in his home. He wasn't dying from this. He was dying from the isolation and the loneliness because he couldn't get to the gym. He couldn't run his business that he built for his family his entire life. And so what was happening was the policies were causing harm, Premier. And that was a very big part. No one is more compassionate about the elderly. We want our elderly people, but we can pivot to actually supporting them in a meaningful way.
Let me finish the point I'm making.
It was middle of COVID, so we were actually broadcasting from our own homes at that stage. So it was just Eddie and I. Eddie was broadcasting out of his house. I was at my house as well. And you knew he was coming on as a guest the next day. And it was, for mine, it was sort of middle of the lockdown period. And he wasn't available on other platforms. He hadn't made himself available to questions apart from the standard press conferences, and there just wasn't people asking, I thought, with reasonable questions. I think he was used to at that stage going to forums where he would not be asked questions that he didn't want to be asked. And so, yeah, I felt like you needed to do that in a respectful way. And I think some of those things haven't aged well from his perspective of just not having any open mind or any flexibility. And so, yeah, I had a sense that there was going to come with some some feedback. But if you're sitting there in that forum, that if people know me well enough, would know that if I felt strongly enough to ask a question, I wouldn't be afraid to do that. It was such a tense, crazy time. You have people from, you hate old people, and we're going to never come to your pub ever again. You're getting sort of that sort of mail, and then others saying, well, at least someone's asked a question, and I think you did it in a reasonable way.